Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakwadash, Salakia. Got a lot of phlegm in my throat. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and citations to the elect of Yasharallah, pushing this truth. All right, warning the whole world of the truth of the return of Yahweh Shai, man. All right, Salakia. Quick lesson, man. I'm gonna show you a few TikToks, about the Lord exposing the lies of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, the man of perdition, the wicked that shall be revealed in these end days in 2 Thessalonians. Okay, the man of sin, he's being revealed. The Lord is revealing to the whole world who the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, because the devil is going to be lying. All right, does not the devil lie? Is he not a deceitful? That's what the word devil means, deceiver. All right, and that's what he's doing, man. All right, the so-called white man, the elites, the high top echelons of the so-called white man that run the world. What are they doing? They're speaking lies. They've been speaking lies and lying to the whole world and deceiving the whole world this whole time, ever since they came out of the Caucasus Mountains. All right, in the 1500s, man. All right. They've covered the faces of the judges thereof, and they spread lies throughout the whole earth, man. All right, and the Lord, Yahweh Shai, Shai, is exposing the whole world to who the devil is, man. It's the so-called white man. He is Esau, Edom, okay? And I'm going to show you some of his lies, all right? And, he can't stop lying, man, all right? And people are realizing that he's lying.
Well, would you look at that, y'all? Apollo 8, December 24th, 1968. Take a look at the clouds right there. And then over here, Artemis 2, April 6th, 2026. Uh-oh, NASA. Did you forget to move the clouds? They didn't change? What, 58 years, something like that? And they didn't. The clouds are in the exact same formation. 58 years later. Uh-oh, NASA, you got some splaining to do. Well, would you...
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom.
Fox News just put out a fake viral claim that 121 super oil tankers are empty and heading towards the United States to buy oil from the United States instead of the Gulf countries. Here's a problem with that viral claim and why it is clearly inaccurate at least, if not just a complete instead of the Gulf countries. Here's a problem with that viral claim and why it is clearly inaccurate at least in utter lie. It is clearly inaccurate at least, if not just a complete and utter lie, and that's that the United States export capability is about half of a ship per day at the loading docks. If you were to have 121 empty super oil tankers arriving to the United States, even within a day of each other, we still wouldn't be able to accommodate all of them. The estimated time to fill up all of those tankers is between 50 days and 121 days. That's moving at max capacity. Not to mention the traffic jam in the Gulf that amount of ships would cause. Now, even then, if we were able to pull it off, that doesn't mean anything for the American people because the cost of getting U.S. oil would be so much more expensive than getting it from the Gulf Coast that oil prices would still stay high, and exporting oil doesn't bring your gas prices down. It only enriches the corporations who own all of that oil and are besties with Donald Trump. So they would get rich and we would get poorer. So Fox News, fact check yourself. Corporations who own all of that oil and are besties with Donald Trump. So they would get rich and we would get poorer. So Fox News, fact check yourself.
And on top of that, where I work, I work at a company where they make fuel pumps. All right, all types. You know, agricultural. For cars. Dune buggies. All that, man. Fuel pumps. And Eddie said, we're still getting the same amount of business. So if that was the case, we'd be getting a whole bunch of orders. All right, panic orders. Like, oh man, people would be buying like crazy because all this, the oil traffic would be going through America and whatnot. But we're not getting that many orders. All right. Just looking at it from that angle. So yeah, man. I seen this. I seen like an AI TikTok. I'm like, oh shoot, America, they're about to get a whole bunch of ships and oil, traffic, through America. But I'm like, how? That's crazy because, this news just happened yesterday. How are these slow ships that go at around 17 miles per hour at the fastest, all right, get all the way to America, and then like you said, it takes 50 to 121 days to even fill up, all right, to stack all those oil, fill up
Well, would you
ship
look?
with oil, all right. So it's a complete lie, and we all saw, and I just showed you in this TikTok, all right, these two, all right, hey man, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's getting sloppy, okay. They're just speaking, they're just lying, all right, appeasing their followers, they're the slow belly Americans, all right, to keep them docile from freaking out, to finding out to what's actually going on, man, okay. And people are finding out, people are realizing, man, okay, because they got social media and TikTok and these algorithms are, Esau Edom can't filter out this truth going through these airways, the internet, these algorithms on these social media platforms and these social platforms, internet platforms, man. All right, this truth is still, spewing out to whoever the Lord wants it to go to, man. Okay, no matter how many censorship and whatnot.
So the GOP on Twitter posted, wages are climbing, costs are falling, our economy is thriving. This is the Trump effect. Yeah. And they got community noted out of this world. Like, it's actually insane. It says false. Study shows that wages are actually down, costs are up, and overall state of the economy is not as resilient as stated by the Trump administration. Now, I could walk through all of those links and make a comprehensive video about it, but I can show you one for sure indicator that this shit is just obvious garbage. The McChicken went from being $1, it was actually under $1.49 at some point, if you can believe that, to $5 entire dollars, almost $6. Do you see that price? Are we being for real? If you would have held a McChicken for the past 5 years, you would have outperformed the S&P 500. How does that even make sense? In 2016 to 2018, it was generally a part of the dollar menu. 2025 to 2026, that shit is over $3, usually around $5. So I know for a fact this post is garbage. So the GOP on Twitter,
yeah, man. He used a funny example, but hey, man, Trump, these Edomites, that's all they could do now, man, is spew straight up lies, and even his own, kingdom is lying to him. Not lying to, but exposing him. Satan against Satan. How can that kingdom? How can that house fall? I mean, stand, like the scriptures say, man. Salakia, like my last TikTok, I showed you, these Trump supporters, and then these other Edomites, Edomites, so-called white people that support Trump, and then there's white people that hate Trump. All right, so Satan is divided against Satan. How's that house gonna stand? How's that kingdom gonna stand, man? It's not. America's about to fall, man. You know, in the foundation of Trump, these right wingers, these MAGA people that are in office right now, and these MAGA supporters. Hey, you know their foundation is lies. You know, we all know lies, you know, eventually fall and get exposed. Lies do not prevail. The truth is what prevails forever. You know, the scriptures say, heaven and earth shall pass away, but the words of Yahweh Shai shall not pass away. You know, they stand forever. Okay? All right? And the Lord is exposing these lies, man. You know, we're in beautiful times, man. And these are just blatant lies. Costs are falling. That's a effing lie. You know, our economy is thriving. That's a big old lie. This is Trump effect. Yeah, the Trump effect is lies. You know, you living in a lie. You know, I don't know how you could be a Trump supporter in 2026. Like, damn, I understand back in 2016 to 2020, but now, dude, shit. You know, these people are lost. All right. The only reason for you to be a Trump supporter in year 2026 is because you blatantly hate the brown people. You know, you're just a clear racist. You know, and you know, all you watch is Fox News. You know. But yeah, man, I'm gonna bring out some precepts, man. I'm gonna end it off right there, man. I'm gonna have this be my last precept. This is John 8:44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil." It's like I got something in my eye. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And this was speaking to the wicked the wicked Israelites in the times. But what does it say? Your father, the devil. So this is talking about the devil. Okay, even though John was comparing the characteristics of a devil, which is a liar, to how Jake was acting back then. Because our people could act like devils too, but they're not the seed of Satan though, But hey, so a devil, the seed of Satan, all they do is lie. The devil lies. It says, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay. Psalms 58:3, it says, the wicked, okay, are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Okay, so it's in the nature of a so-called white man. Esau, Edom. You heard what I said. I said so-called white man, because not all white people are Edomites. Okay, but the majority of Edomites are white people. All right, if you can't understand what I just said, all right, click off this video, and hey, it's too late for you, man. All right, we're in 2026. All right, the Lord is about to return here, like Apostle Star says, weeks, months. I feel it. I believe it, man. All right. So this is talking about the so-called white man. All right. We're not here being. I don't hate white people. I hate Edomites. Okay. If you happen to be white and an Edomite, hey, I dislike you. If you happen to be so-called black and an Edomite, I dislike you as well. Because the Lord dislikes you. Okay. If you happen to be Mexican looking, but you're an Edomite, hey, I dislike you. But if you happen to be white and you're not an Edomite, I like you. I don't have to hey, you know what I mean? Okay. Now I love my people. I love our people, man. I'm talking about Yasharallah. If you're an Israelite, hey, I hope you repent. All right. Hey, Bishop Nate, I hope you repent. ICBK members, hey, I hope you all repent. I hope all Israel repents and gets right and gets saved, but they're not going to, But anyway, back on topic. Psalms 58:3. Because, hey, people get us twisted, man. you know, all right, with what we say. And really, we're at the point where who gives a damn, man? We shouldn't be explaining ourselves now, man. All right, because hey, this message, this truth that we speak, all right, and preach, it's for the elect only, and only the elect will understand this message, man. You know, which is a good thing, man. Hey, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. So it's in the nature of an Edomite, the devil, to do what? To lie. That's what they do, you know. And the so-called white man is still lying, man. And his lies are getting worse and worse. They're getting sloppy. They didn't land on no moon. You saw how fast they land. It's just like I woke up one day and we got white people at the moon again. I'm like, what the fuck? They haven't been in the moon. It's the last time at the moon. Well, when's the last time white people went to the moon? And it's always a white man going to the moon. You don't see the Asian man, the Mexican man, the black man going to the moon. You know, the Arabian man, because we all know that you can't go to the moon. You know, but the white man has deceived the world, thinking that, making people believe that you could go to the moon. See, we went to the moon when it was all covered. It was a cover up and a lie. You know, smoking mirrors. You know, which is basically the same thing because they did it on a movie screen. Okay, it was just a videotape. All right, that they made in the backyard.
Well, would you look?
It's just not AI, CGI. You know. All right, and look, you saw how lazy they got with it. You know, look how lazy. You know, they used the same picture as they did in 1968, but they made the picture more high definition. You know, same clouds. I think that's Australia right there. Same everything, man. I'm like, wow, Esau is getting sloppy because they're in a hurry. They're in a hurry with, it's like keeping this lie and making people believe that the white man is the top, nation on earth, man. Esau Edom's the top nation on earth, man. You know, look, we could still go to the moon like it's nothing. You wake up one day in April 2026, April 6, 2026, and bang, we're on the moon again. It's a lie, man. Okay? So this devil's going to keep on lying until the Lord returns and sets everything straight. And he's already setting things straight with his prophets, through his prophets, all right, speaking the truth. And this truth is going to prevail over lies, all right? Because everybody believes not everybody, but still a lot of people believe in the lies that the white man, Esau Edom, has been spewing throughout the whole earth. Job 13:4, but ye are forgers of lies, and ye are all physicians of no value. Okay, he's hey, once again, speaking lies, man. They're forgers of lies, and when you forge something, you make a lie. When you forge steel, what do? You form it into whatever hey, they're forgers of lies, man. They come up with lies. 2 Thessalonians 2:3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except they're coming and falling away first. And hey, that has happened. We've lived through that, man, in these times, these last days. All right, everybody fell away from the heritage of being an Israelite, talking about the Israelites, and believed a lie. It says, in that man of sin be revealed the son of perdition. All right, and the Lord is revealing to the whole world that the so-called white man is that man of sin. It's not one singular man. No, it's a nation of men. Okay, like the scriptures say, the wicked is the border of Esau. Edom is the border of wicked. Let's get that border of wickedness, man. Border of wicked. KJV. So if you want to know who the man, that wicked man is, okay, let's read verse 8. Okay. See, it's talking about one man, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right. See, verse 8 says something similar, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna read the rest of that later. But yeah, see, that wicked. So it's talking about one man. Okay. No, it's talking about a nation of people. All right. And it's talking about the nation of Edom. Malachi 1 and 4 says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. So, that's what the Lord did. All right, the Lord, put this devil in the Caucasus Mountains, made him base again, made him base cavemen. But then what happened? It says, but we will return and build the desolate places. And hey, they came out of the Caucasus Mountains and built these skyscrapers and cities, all right, in America, this American empire. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, okay? And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. And when you go into that phrase, border of wickedness, all right, the border, it's talking about the beginning, all right, the wicked, all right. So, hey, Esau is that wicked that it's speaking about in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, all right. So this is talking about Esau, Edom, okay, not just one man, all right. And it goes for verse 3 too as well. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8, it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. Okay, and that's how this white man, Esau Edom, has taken over the world. All right, unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, deceptiveness, lies, getting over on people wickedly, being wicked, man. It says the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Okay, so the Lord is about to take this man's kingdom away, man. All right, because he's not going to stop lying, man. All right, and people are realizing and finding out and waking up to who the devil is, seeing these lies, and they're just not connecting the dots because they don't want to listen to the prophets of Yahweh Shemi Shai, who are telling you that the so-called white man who's telling you all these lies that you're seeing, who's lying all this time, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay, Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All right. Hey, the Lord Yahweh Shemi Shai is revealing to the whole world the secret things, okay, of Esau. Okay, the Lord is not searching out, but hey, he's revealing to the whole world the lies. To the whole world that the devil is the so-called white man, Esau Edom. All right, don't you see his lies? Don't you see that he's lying? He's being a devil. He's being deceptive. Okay, and you're seeing that he's lying, man. Because hey, he's getting sloppy now. The Lord is making him be sloppy. All right, he's revealing to the whole world that he's the devil. Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all the people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. So the Lord is taking off that veil, that strong delusion, okay, that the Lord has put, that the so-called white man has put over all these people, that the Lord has put over all these people around the whole world, believing in the lie, all right, through the so-called white man, through Esau Edom, okay? The Lord allowed Esau Edom to deceive and put a wicked veil of lies throughout the whole earth, all right? A veil is a covering, all right, people, and what that veil did, it covered the truth. The Lord has destroyed that veil. People know what the truth is, or is on the process of knowing the truth. Proverbs 12 and 19, the lips of truth shall be established forever. You hear that? But a lying tongue is but for a moment. All right, and we're seeing the end of that moment, okay? Truth is always going to come out, man, okay? You're eventually going to find out the truth, and you people are finding out the truth, okay? You're going to find out eventually that the men of Yahweh Shemi Shai, the men of GMS, have been telling you the truth this whole time. Job 20:5, it says that the triumphing of the wicked is short. Verse 4. Job 20:4 says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of a hypocrite but for a moment. All right. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds. And hey, this white man has done that. All right, he's reaching up to the clouds, man. You know, trying to escape Earth. You know, go to the moon, which is impossible. That's a lie. All right, he's never went to no damn moon. You know. All right, he has this God complex. He wants to be God, sitting in the seat of God, saying that he is God, like the scriptures say. Verse 7, yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Like in Obadiah, it says, Esau shall be stubble, and there shall be no more remaining of the house of Esau. And that's going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. All right, there's going to be a point in the kingdom of heaven here in the future where there's not going to be any more so-called white people, no more Edomites. Okay? He's going to perish forever. And we're seeing his kingdom falling. Okay? Okay? Because this kingdom was just for a moment. For the Lord to show the whole world, you know, what it's like to have wickedness, to be wicked, and let wickedness rule. Okay? And it won't last, you know. Wickedness is only for a moment. Being hypocritical and lying will only last for a moment. Okay? All right? 2 Ezra 6:28, it says, as for faith, it shall flourish. More in those times, man. Faith is flourishing now. You know, starting with the apostles and the elders of GMS and the men of GMS on down, man. Okay? That's flourishing. Okay, people are waking up. My father woke up, you know. Okay, he just has to, you know, be more diligent in this truth, you know. Okay, corruption shall overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be